Alright, so we shall begin. Last week we did an introduction to computers. We looked at what a computer is, and we also looked at some parts of a computer that we need to take note of. And so today we are going to proceed and start looking at productivity tools. And the first tool that we are going to look at is Microsoft Word. Are you here?
Yes, madam, I'm present.
Alright, great. Okay, so we are going to look at Microsoft Word. I hope you'll be able to follow through on your end if you have your computer with you. Okay. So Microsoft Word, basically it's part of the Microsoft package too, and it's used to create documents. Okay. You can use Microsoft Word to write a document. Maybe it could be an assignment for school or a report about something, or a research paper if you want to come up with whatever sort of document that you want to come up with. You can use Microsoft Word to do that. Okay. So in order for us to get started, I'm just going to show us. I'm going to talk about a few tools that you can find. I'm going to talk about a few tools that we are supposed to take note of as we look at Microsoft Word, and then when I'm done, I'm going to open a blank Microsoft Word page so that we can look at some templates, and we can also see how you can get started if you want to use Microsoft Word. Then we are going to do some editing, and we're going to add a lot of features. We're going to use most of these features in order for us to understand how they work. We are going to insert some pictures and also some tables so that we are able to see how exactly Microsoft Word works and how we can use it in order for us to get the most out of it. Okay. So kindly confirm if you're able to see my screen. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, I'm able. Sorry, this is when I'm joining.
Oh, okay. All right. You're welcome. Okay, so this is how Microsoft Word looks when you open a blank document. Okay, when you open a blank document, this is how Microsoft Word looks. Okay, these labels are basically trying to label some of the tools and the features which are on the inside the document that we are supposed to take note of. Okay, the first one that we are going to look at is the fast access, the quick access or fast access. It's on top there. There's an icon for save. There's also an icon for redo and undo. Okay, you can find it there if your Microsoft Word is open. Or alternatively, yeah, okay, wait, I'm going to open a blank document, then you'll be able to see exactly what I'm talking about. So that is the quick access. Okay, and on the tabs here, the tabs, where when I say tabs, I'm referring to these tools which are on top here. The first one is the home tab. We also have the insert tab. Then we have the page layout. We also have margins. Those are what are called tabs. They are found in the ribbon. Okay. When I say ribbon, I'm referring to everything that's on top here, where the tabs are and where all the tools which are associated with different tabs, where they are. This is the ribbon. Okay, and as you can see here, the arrow is pointing here. This is referring to everything that's here, that where the tabs are and where all these where they are. This is the ribbon. Okay, and then the next one we have is a marker. You can see where this arrow is pointing. That black line that you see in your document when you want to start typing, the line that helps you to see where you're going to type. Whatever you type on your keyboard, this this line shows exactly where it will go. That is called a marker. Okay. Then the other one we have is the status line. Okay. The status line is down here at the corner. You'll be able to see it clearly when I open a blank document. But the status line basically it helps us to see how many pages we have written, how many words we have written. Basically, it helps us to do a word count and the page count. Okay. And then at the other corner, this side, we have a display button. Display button helps us to zoom in and to zoom out, and it also helps us to choose which view we want to look at our document. Okay. So basically, these are a few features that we find in Microsoft Word. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop sharing that document. Okay. I'm going to stop sharing that document and I'm going to open a blank document, and it's the one that we are going to use to illustrate most of the things which are in this, the tools which are here, so that we can follow through and understand. Okay. So I'm just going to get a small part of this document where there is this passage so that we can use it for editing and illustrating some of the tools that are there. Okay. So I'm just going to cut this. I'm just going to copy it so that we can move it to the document that we'll be working with. So I'm going to stop sharing this, and I'm going to share another one. Kindly confirm if you're able to see the screen.
As for me, I'm able to see it.
All right, great. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to paste what I had copied so that we can use it for illustration. But before I do that, let me show you a few things that I was talking about, since they are more clear now. Okay. So these are the tabs here. We have the home tab, we have the insert tab, design, page layout, references, mailings, review, and also view. And everything that's down here, including where the tabs are, that is the ribbon. Okay. And the marker is here, this dark line that you're able to see here. This is the marker. Okay. And here we have file. Okay. If you want to save this document, you click on file and it will take you it will bring you here where there are a lot of options where you can choose from. If you want to open a new blank document, if you want to open on another existing document apart from the one that you're working on, or you want to save, if you want to save as basically helps us to rename and decide where exactly we want our document to be. You can also print, you can share, you can export, all these options. When you open on file, this is where it brings you. Okay, so now that we want to go back to our document, I'm just going to click on the arrow and we are going to come back here where we are. Okay, so I'm just going to paste. Okay, I'm going to paste that text that I had copied so that we can use it for illustration as we go on. Okay, all right, so we are going to start from the home tab. I'm going to illustrate a few tools which are under the home tab. Then we are going to move to insert, where we are going to insert some pictures and also some tables, and we are going to do a little bit of designing. And I'm just going to I'm going to explain a little bit about the other tabs. Of course, we're not going to take a lot of time, because when you want to create a document, you will spend a lot of time on the home tab and the insert tab in order for you to get to create a document. The rest of the tabs, they just help us to design and also to edit the document. Okay, so under the home tab, the first ribbon that we have here, the tool that we have, is a clipboard. Okay, under clipboard we have the cut, we have the copy, we have format. Okay, all right, so basically these are some of the tools that you have under clipboard. If you want to cut this you want to cut part of this text, let me just try to let me okay, so I've selected this part of the text. Let's say I want to cut it, so I'm just gonna go on the home tab and then I'm going to click on on cut. Notice what happens when I click on cut. That document disappears. So basically that is how cut works. And what disappears, it goes to the clipboard. Okay, if you check the clipboard, you'll be able to see the text which we had cut. Okay, taking a lot of time. Okay, great. So this is the part of the text that we had cut, and you're able to see it here on the clipboard. Okay, so I'm just gonna put it back, and if you want to put it back, you do you paste it. Okay, and pasting is actually here. So you click on it and you decide whether you want to merge or you just want to paste just the text. Okay, so let's say we want to merge. So I'm just gonna choose merge, and the text that I had cut has actually come back. So basically that is how those tools work. Copy, on the other hand, it's going to get a part of this text, but it's not going to remove it from here. It's just going to put a part of it on the clipboard, but it's not going to disappear from here. Okay, let me just illustrate so that I show you exactly what I'm talking about. I'm just going to highlight this part of the text again. Then I'm going to go on the home tab. Then I'm going to click on copy. When I click on copy, you notice that the text does not disappear. Okay, unlike when the way we were doing when we cut the text, it disappeared, but when we copy the text, it does not disappear. We just get a part of it, a copy of it, and it remains exactly the way it is. So this is how it works. Alternatively, if you don't want to keep going to the home tab, you can right click here. When you right click here, you see these tools that come here. We have cut, we have copy, we also have paste. So these are quick access tools. Okay, you can do it from here or you can do it on the home tab. So basically that is how you use the clipboard. Okay, So we are going to move on and start looking. We are going to move on and look at the fonts. Okay. We are going.
Madam,
Yes, please.
yes, before you go any further to another step, I would like you to explain more on how the passage which has been cut, how it goes into the keyboard. I didn't get it well.
Oh, okay. So basically, the way that this application was created, when you cut a part of your text, it will automatically be kept on the clipboard. The clipboard keeps a text that you cut or copy. Okay? So when you copy a text or you cut it, it will go on the clipboard. And then you can use it. If you want to use it, you can paste it on what? On the, but you can paste it on the page again. Okay? So for instance, when we cut this, you just have to cut it and it will go to the clipboard on its own. So I'm going to use the quick access and then I'm going to choose cut. When I select cut, you notice it disappears, right? But it actually goes on the what? On the clipboard on its own. When you just cut it, it will go on the clipboard. When you click the drop down arrow for the clipboard, you will find it here. Since we cut it twice, you notice that it's here on top and it's also here down. You notice that, right?
Yes, I've noticed.
Okay, so if you want to see all of it, you can just click on the, if you want to choose what to do with it, you just click on the arrow which is there. If you want to paste it, you will paste it. If you want to delete it, you can delete it from the clipboard. But we don't want to delete it since we want to put it back here. So I'm just gonna right click here and I'm going to paste it back here. Okay, makes sense now?
Yes, it does.
All right, great. So we are going to continue. We'll continue now. We are going to look at the fonts. Okay, the first one I'm going to talk about are the font themes and the font size. I'm sure we are familiar with this. If maybe you're writing an assignment or whatever you're writing and they tell you that the font size should be maybe 15 or 16, you can come here on the font size and you can choose how big you want your text to be. So let's say we want our font size to be, which one will fit on our screen? This one, yeah. This one here. So I'm going to choose 14. Okay, you notice that our text becomes big. Let me just close the like that. So you notice that the font size increases. Okay, and then on the other end, this side we have the font what? Themes. Okay, and when you click on the drop down arrow, they're going to give you a lot of the themes and you have to choose which one do you want to use. You notice what happens when I move on each one of them. You are able to see a preview, right? You're able to see how exactly it's going to look if you chose it. Okay, so you decide which one do you want to choose, which one do you want to work with. Okay, let's assume we want to work with this one. So I'm just going to select Algerian. I'm going to click on it. Okay, I don't know what's happening. I've lost connection and I'm no longer sharing and no longer presenting the screen. Just give me a few minutes that I figure out what's wrong. All right, kindly confirm if you're able to see the screen now.
I can see the screen here, Miss.
All right, great. So proceed. I apologize for that. The network is tripping. Okay, great. So we were talking about the fonts, and we changed the theme fonts to this one here, right? Algerian. So basically this is how you change the font theme and also the font size. Okay. And down here we have, no, let me just change this one so that you're able to see the effects of, I'm just going to bring it back to this one so that when we make it bold, you're able to see the effect. Down here we have bold. If you want your text to be darker, okay, you can decide that you can click on on bold. You notice what happens to the text when I click on bold. It becomes darker. Then when I click on it again, it's no longer dark. Okay, so you select the text and then you make it bold. So let's say I'm just going to select this part so that you can see the difference. And notice that there's also a quick way to access those tools there. So even here you can choose to make it bold from here. You notice that he was looking forward to becomes bold, and the rest of the text is not bold, right? Yeah, so that is how you make your text bold. And then the next one is is italic. If you want your text to be italicized, you can choose italic. So let's say we want to italize the same parts which we have made bold. Looking forward to, he was looking forward to, and then we click on the I, which stands for italic. You notice that it becomes italicized. Okay, it's leaning towards the same direction, unlike this text which is straight. Okay, so basically this is how you italize your text. And the next one is underline. If you want to underline this part of the text, you just click on underline and you notice that it becomes underlined. Okay, so let's assume we want to make this as our heading. Okay, so we have underlined it, but let me just show you a little bit more underlines that you can use when you're working with with your document. When you click on the drop down arrow where there's a U which is underlined, you notice that there are a lot more lines that you can, types of of underline that you can use. So I'm just going to highlight this part so that you can see their effect. Okay, then I'm going to click on the drop down arrow which is under the U. Okay, when I click on it, on the first one here, this is the first line which is automatically selected when you click on underline. And then there's a second one here which has which is a double underline. The next one is bold or thick. Okay, the next one is dotted. I hope if you look closely, you'll be able to see the effect on our text that we are underlining. And then when we move to the next one, you see the dots there. When you move to the other one, you see the dot dash dot dash dot dash. Okay, so basically these are the types of underlines which are available. Okay, there's also underline color. If you want the underline color to be maybe green, to be pink, to be yellow, to be blue, you can come on under underline color and decide that you want to underline using using a different color and not black. Black is the default underline color, but if you want to use a different underline color, you can do that. Okay, all right, so that's it about underline. The next one we're going to look at is strike through. Okay, how do you use strike through? If you want to cancel out something, notice what has happened when I've clicked on strike through. Notice what has happened to our heading, which reads he was looking forward to. It has been cancelled. There's a straight line that has been passed in between the text. Okay, across the text. Okay, so that is how you use strike through. Maybe if you want to cancel something and you don't want to delete it, you can just pass a strike through line. Or if you want to emphasize something, you can strike it through. Okay, and when I click on it again, it's no longer there. Okay, so basically that is how you use it. The next one is a subscript and the superscript. Subscript and superscript, you use them if you are writing a mathematical paper, and so you want to write 2 to the power 5, or maybe you want to write the square root of 2, something like that. So if you want to add the square root, or you want to add the power of, you can use superscript and also subscript. Okay, so let me just show you how it works. I'm just gonna go down here and type some text, some numbers, so that we can use them, so that you see how it works. Okay, so I'm just going to type any number. Okay, I'm just going to type, I've typed a 3. I hope you're able to see it. Okay, I've typed a 3, and I'm going to go on the home tab, and I'm going to choose subscript. Then I'm going to type another number, which is 5. You notice what happens? It becomes 3 base 5. Let me just increase it so that you are able to see it properly. Like that. Are you able to see it?
Yes, we are able.
All right, great. So basically
Yes, we are able.
This is how you add a base to a number if you are working with Microsoft Word. Then we are going to do another one where we are going to add a power. Okay. So I'm just going to type it on top here. Okay. So let's say I type another number. This is 5. Okay. And then I go on the home tab. Then I click on on superscripts. Then I type 2. Okay, let me just make it big also so that you can clearly see it. It becomes 5 to the power 2. Okay, and I should be quick to mention that it's not only numbers that you do that. Okay, if we want to make was here to be a subscript or a superscript, you can do that. So you just select it, and then you go under superscript and you click on it. You notice the was goes on top, right? And if you want to make it a subscript, you click there again, it comes down. So basically this is how you use superscript and subscript. Okay, if you want to increase font size, you can come here, and if you want to reduce font size, you can also use this. Okay, sometimes you would have written everything maybe in uppercase. Case meaning it basically means whether small letters or capital letters. Okay, so let's assume we want all of this text to be in capital letters. So you come on the home tab again, you choose case change. When you click on the drop down arrow which is under case change, you can decide if you want everything to be in lowercase, everything will be in lowercase. Okay, if you want everything to be in uppercase, you click there, everything is going to be in capital letters. You notice that? Yeah, so basically that is how you change. And if you want to capitalize each word, okay, if you want to capitalize each word, you're going to click there. You notice that each word has the first letter capitalized, right? And there's also this one for Tango case. Tango case is going to make the first letter lowercase and the rest of the letters uppercase. You notice what is happening? So basically that is how you do that. So I'm just going to capitalize each word so much that each letter is going to be in capital letter. All right, great. So the next one we have is the effects. If you want to change the way that your text looks, maybe you want to change all of it, or you just want to change maybe the heading. Let's just change the heading so that you see exactly how this works. So I'm just going to highlight the heading, then I'm going to go there. Okay, then under the text effect, I'm going to click the drop down arrow and I can choose which one I want to use. Let's use this colorful one. Okay, notice what happens to our heading. It becomes what? Yellow and very colorful. The color is disturbing my eyes, so I'm just gonna change it. It's too bright. Okay, I'm going to choose, let's try this one. Okay, this one's better. All right, so we have changed the text effect to our heading. Okay, I hope you're following how to do this. Okay, and if you want to highlight text, if you want to change the color, you can come here and you can choose any color that you want. Let me just show you how the effect of this, so that I'm just going to highlight this part so that you can see what happens when you change the color of the text. This one changes the it highlights the color of the text. Notice what happens. Text is highlighted. It's still black, but it's just highlighted. Okay, so this is what happens. Let's say I want it to be pink. This pink looks different from the pink, I know, but anyway, we want it to be pink. It looks like purple. Is it just me, or you also think it looks like purple? Anyway, we shall proceed. So basically that is how you highlight your texts. Okay, then there's what we call font color. If you want this text to be red, if you want it to be blue, if you want it to be pink, you can choose what? You can click here. You notice the text becomes red. If you don't want red, you can change the color. You can put blue. It's going to become blue. Okay, if you want it to be, what other colors are there? I want colors which are, you say you want it to be green, you can change it also and it becomes what? Green. Okay, so we are going to move now. We are going to go to paragraph. Okay, paragraph, basically it helps us to justify our text, to add bullets to our text. Okay, if you want to come up with a list, you can decide if you want bullet points or you want numbering. Okay, all these you can decide which one you want to use, whether it's you want letters in small letters or letters in capital letters, all these formats. Okay, you can decide which one you want to use. Okay, the next one is styles. Okay, under styles, you notice the effect. When you choose it, it's going to change the way that your document looks. For instance, we have chosen this one. You notice that our heading becomes big. It becomes the font size increases. Okay, or if you want this one, we can decide if you want to use the one for subtitles. This one is for the title. Notice that the title becomes the font size increases. If you want to use the one for subtitles, or that you want to emphasize, you can do all that. Okay, and under find and replace, you can find one text and replace it with with another text. Let's just try to replace so that you can see how it works. Let's say we want to replace Williams with John. Let me look at the spelling for William before we do that. Okay, William is William anyway. So I'm just going to click on replace. Notice what happens. Are you able to see this box which has popped up? All right, so when you click on find and replace, you're going to find an interface is going to pop up, which is going to ask you, what do you want to find? So find what? Under find what, you write what you want to find. In our case, we want to find who? William. Okay. So I'm just going to type William in there.
Hello, just a minute, madam. I think I can try to go back a little bit because there was the noise in the background.
Oh yeah, the dogs.
Yes, there was the background. The dog was barking, so we couldn't get it.
Yeah.
Clearly.
I apologize for that. Okay, so I'm just going to where did we end? Under find and replace.
Yes, somewhere find and replace here.
All right, great. So I'm just going to start afresh. All right. So I was saying, if you want to replace, sometimes you'd be working with a big document, and maybe it's a document maybe for a report for work, and so maybe you wrote names of employees, right? Maybe names of clients, and so they tell you that everywhere where you wrote John Mwanza, you should put Michael Piri. Okay, so imagine that John Mwanza is actually appearing in a lot of what pages, maybe let's say 15 pages. You kept on referring to John Mwanza as you were writing the report, and so you can't go and change one by one, right? So you're just going to go under find and replace, and then you're going to put where there is when you click on find and replace here, it's the last, it's under editing. Okay, it is the last ribbon, the last two under editing. So you click on replace. When you click on replace, it's going to ask you find what. Okay, so you have to find first. So we are going to find what? See, I said we are going to replace William. So we are going to find William. So I'm just going to type under find what, I'm going to type William. Okay. I'm going to type William under find what, and replace with what, I'm going to put John. Okay. After you do that, you click on what? Replace all. When you click on replace all, it's telling me that it couldn't replace any because it did not find the name William. Okay, so if you get this, it means that maybe your spelling was wrong. So you can check your spelling again and make sure that the spelling is correct. So I've fixed it, and now you're able to see that where there was William, there's now what? There's John. Okay, are you able to see this?
Yes, ma'am.
Great.
I'm able to see.
All right. So that is how you find and replace. So basically, this is what we are going to look at under the home tab. Basically, we've exhausted everything. So before we end this class, I'm just going to talk about the insert tab. Under the insert tab, this is where you insert another page. This is where you insert a table, a picture. You can also access online pictures. You can also insert different shapes. Okay, if you want to put up a life cycle of a butterfly, you can insert a smart art. So let's just try to insert a smart art so that you see how exactly it works. Okay, under smart art, you can just click there. When you click that, they are going to give you a lot of options on what exactly you want to do to insert. If it's a cycle, you click under cycle, and then you choose which cycle do you want to insert, and then you click OK, and you will see that this is what you have done, you have chosen. And where there's text, you can just click where there's text and edit. Let me just do that. Okay, great. So where there's text, when you click inside, it's going to be erased. Then you can write what you want to write. Let's say you're writing a life cycle of a human being, and there the first step, maybe it's infant, like that. Okay, so basically this is how you write. When you from here you go to the next one. I don't know which comes next when you're writing a life cycle of a human being. So basically this is how you insert different shapes and different illustrations that you want to add in your document. You can also insert a picture. Okay, let's try to insert a picture so that you can see how it works. Okay, so we are going to insert a picture. I hope I'll be able to find the picture. Where there's just pictures here, you use pictures which are already on your computer. But if you are sure that you don't have any picture on your computer like me, you can click on the online pictures, and then it's going to take you to a web browser. Under the web browser, you choose which picture you want to choose, and then it will be added to your document. Or the next thing you can insert is a table. I'm just going to click on table. Inserting a table, it's so easy. Just choose how many columns and how many rows. When you choose, let's say we want 5 columns and how many rows? 3. So I'm just going to click OK, and you'll be able to see the table down here. As long as the marker is exactly where you want your table to go, you will be able to see the table here. Okay, so this is your table. You can edit it. Okay, if you want to move it, you can move it and make this big. Okay, like that. So basically this is how you insert a table. This is how you insert whatever I want to insert in your document. We also have an option to insert a chart. When you click on chart, you're going to choose which chart do you want to insert. Then you can do that. But we're not going to go that far. We are going to end here, because this is a course for ICT basics. So basically these are some of the basics that you need to know in order for you to get started with Microsoft Word. Are there any questions on what we have covered? Any questions? No questions. All right, great. To end here. Next time when we meet, we are going to look at PowerPoint. Please attend class so that you're not left behind, so that you get the most out of it. Have a good night. See you next time.
Okay, thank you so much, madam, for the lesson.
All right.